DJ Yeagley with you for another edition of YSN Coach's Corner, and it's the South Range edition with Coach Dan Yeagley coming off an unbelievable win. I guess I shouldn't say unbelievable because you have to believe it now because it happened. So many lights, so much attention around this game last Friday. A capacity crowd or nearly a capacity crowd, all the media outlets on hand. Coach, talk to me about what the atmosphere was like in the locker room. What was the tone, and really, did you have to pump up the boys, or was it always there?
No, we've been talking about this game for a long time and how exciting it is. You know, South Range Springfield rivals going at it on Friday night in front of a full crowd, which we haven't seen for over a year. So it was an exciting time. The kids were pumped. The kids were ready to play. And you know what? They believed. There wasn't any hype going on. There wasn't any motivation speeches. There wasn't anything else like that. It didn't need to be done. It was already done. The kids believed that they could go out there and play hard and win. They came out, and as the game went on, they believed even more and more. You know, that opening drive, even though we didn't score, was very, very crucial just to set the tone of the ball game, saying, guess what? We're here and we're going to play hard and we're coming at you. And, you know, like I said, and even their first years when they got the ball deep in the territory and, you know, forced them to punt and got the ball and went down and scored. All those things are very important throughout the ball game. Set the tone early. You know, we've talked about that many times, and it was just it was so much fun. And it was such a great game by our young men. And, you know, and after the game, they were thrilled to death, but they weren't, you know, you talked about people that were surprised and everything else. They weren't surprised. They had a feeling that they could do this if they come out and execute. We still made a lot of mistakes. We got to clean them up this week. And, but, you know, the kids performed and the kids did awesome. And I'm very, very proud of them.
I was just going to ask you, what can you work on this week, or what have you worked on this week that you saw on game film or live during the game that you said, hey, this is enough to get us through this game, but that's not going to get us through the season?
Yeah, we had a turnover. You know, you can't have those kind of things, especially against great teams. And, you know, that was scary because all of a sudden you're giving them the ball back. But our defense rose to the occasion. We had some penalties. I mean, you know, a couple unnecessary roughness, a couple, you know, offsides penalties. You know, there was legal procedure. There was just some things that we could clean up. Eyes not in the right place. You know. Not looking where they're supposed to be, not looking at number 2, not looking at number 1, not looking at the rivet, just a whole bunch of the little things that, you know, just kids get caught in the moment. I mean, it was a huge game, and kids get caught in the moment, and their minds drift, and you know, my mind drifts. We all do that, and guess what? We got to get their focus back where it needs to be, and you know, it can drift for a little bit, but it has to be when the play's starting, they have to be focused, and they have to be ready to go, and they have to be doing their job for the good of the team.
Well, a lot of eyes on Billy Skirpak this past Friday, a lot of eyes on Dylan Dominguez, but who stood out to you that maybe aren't getting the press clippings that they necessarily deserve from Friday night?
You know, both those guys played excellent ball games. They played fantastic, and, you know, Ain Leon, couple great catches, couple key catches on third and 5. Caught some key 6-yard passes, 6-yard routes, and it caught a big one, that big touchdown pass in the corner from Billy. Oh my God, there's so many. But, you know, when Billy's having a good game and you know, Dylan's having a great game, the offensive line is ticking, you know, so hats off to those offensive linemen because they got the ball moving and they opened the seams and the gaps for them. And, you know, you go, all those guys, it's super. And, you know, so that, you know, hats off to them because they did super. They stood out. And the defense as a whole, as a unit, I mean, you got one of the best players in the area, you know, on offense across from us. And, you know, to hold him to 50-some yards rushing is unbelievable. They tackled, they swarmed. You know, we knew he was going to get his yards. We knew he was going to get his passing yards, and you know he had 100 and I don't know whatever 80-some passing. He had a good night, but you know we contained him. I thought, you know, I really felt that, and so hats off to our defense too, because and I'm not going to say one person because they all did it. You know, one player might have been this person, next player was another person, but you know they held him in check, and which is a tough task to do because not many people have been able to do that.
So a team that you're very familiar with in Springfield, you've been playing for years outside of last year, all the way to when you turn the page, University School this week, Coach. When you look at this team, I'm sure there's tape out there on them, but this is a team that not anybody really knows about other than if you've watched their tape in the last week or so.
Yeah, don't know a lot about them. We know that Mogador played them in the past, and I think United played them in the playoffs before, and or played them once or twice, or somebody else did around here. And
Cheney.
Yeah, that's it. And it was a good pickup for us. We were looking for a week 2 game on short notice, and they had an opening. They are. I told the kids at the very beginning, it's almost like a playoff game where you got to prepare for somebody that you don't know. And you have to do it a little bit differently than you do a Springfield. Springfield, these guys are on social media with them. They play Xbox games together and everything else. These guys, they know nothing about. So it's like a playoff game, like when we played Harrison Central last year and Beechwood and, teams like that where you don't know a whole lot about them and you got to come out and play on a Friday night. Just treating it as a playoff game where, guess what? If you don't play well, they're going to beat you. And if you play well, you can win. But we got to, like I said, we had to clean up some little stuff from last week, and we had a good week of practice. And, you can tell they're well coached. I mean, the coach has been there for a while. I actually graduated from there, and, younger coach, but, younger than me, I guess. But, he's – but they've been they won a big game last week, to beat Columbus Academy up at third place. And that's just – they're playing very well, and they got some nice sized line and a good quarterback, a young quarterback, only a sophomore. We got some playing time even last year, so it's exciting. We're looking forward to new challenges that brings, and again, hopefully the season goes the way we hope it does, and it will help us when we get into the playoffs.
So when you look at that, you're preparing for the unknown. What are the keys to victory when you're preparing for the unknown?
We just talked about doing our job. I mean, playing Raider football. Obviously.
There it is.
Obviously, playing Raider football, and we can't. They could change a lot from last week to this week, and they can make some adjustments. I know their coach was there watching us, and they're going to do some different things. But when it comes right down to it, if we play South Range football, if we play Raider football, we're going to be all right. Again, we got to execute. We got to clean up some little mistakes here and there. And like I said, the kids know it, and the kids have done a good job all week doing that. But we got to come out and play Raider football and do what we do best.
Can a win last week springboard you the rest of the season? Okay, I mean, you talk about rivalry games. We talked about it last week. Can a rivalry game and a rivalry game win springboard you to the belief of it's time, which is the motto for the Raiders this year? You think?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, when you beat a good team like Springfield, who's been in the state finals the last 2 years, and you beat them, I mean, that's huge. I mean, it's a huge start for the season. Gets a lot of the jitters out, a lot of the unknowns for us. How is this kid going to play? How's this kid going to do in key situations? And guess what? They all perform very well. So it is going to springboard us, I think. And but then again, you're playing a D2 school, so things are a little bit shaky there. You don't know, what they're going to bring to the table. Who didn't play for them last week? We don't know a whole lot about them. That they're going to come. They're looking to. They're 1-0 also. They're looking to keep their season alive and keep their season going. Beating a good powerhouse last week, and now they're playing us. So it's going to be an interesting ball game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting the coach. I haven't met him in person, and look forward to that. And it's just like I said, our kids are ready. I think they're more focused this week than they were even last week. So hopefully we can get out there and execute and get it going for 48 minutes.
South Range versus University School tonight, the home opener for South Range on the season. Coach, final question before we let you go. You've coached a lot of these guys who have made their way into the South Range Hall of Fame. Another, I think one, maybe a few tonight. Talk to me about how special it is to see your kids be acknowledged for their time as a Raider.
It's so rewarding. I mean, these kids I'm calling them kids because they really are still to me. And these past players, to get inducted in the Hall of Fame is a great honor for them. And, I'm going to introduce two of them on Saturday. at the banquet. Garrett Sorley, who played tackle for us, and Ryan Miller, who played quarterback for us. Both those guys have, it's awesome to see how they've grown and to see how they matured and see what they're doing now in their lives. You got Ryan, who has a very great job and got a great education, and now he's giving back. I mean, he's helping out with the baseball team. He's always around. I get to talk to him quite often. I mean, he's done a great job, and he's always there to help the kids. And Garrett Sorley, who went into the military and still in the military, and he's just those kind of things, serving our country. He served us well, but he's on the bigger and better things, which is awesome. And to see him, I ran into him the other day. He's back in town, and it is. They were teammates. I mean, they overlapped teammates, and and then you got J.R. Renforth, who was getting inducted for wrestling. He was part of that team, and who's the other one? Greg Dunham, who's getting inducted for baseball. I mean, so you got these kids that are multi-sport athletes. Ryan could have even went in for baseball. I mean, he was a great athlete for us, and it's so much fun seeing these kids and getting the rewards that they deserve afterwards, years later. And it's fun. And it brought me back down memory lane. I was watching a little bit of their films last night and doing some things, and it's fun. And I'm very proud of them, and not very, very proud of what they did for us and for South Range, but very proud of what they've become and what they're doing now with their lives. And so awesome. I mean, it really is. It's exciting. And I know that, I'm looking forward to see them all tonight before the game.
Coach, we will see you tonight at the game. Best of luck against University School, and go Raiders, right?
Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Go Raiders. And thank you so much, DJ, for all you've done. I really appreciate it, and appreciate you putting me on today. I know it's sort of rushed for you, too, and this is awesome. I enjoy talking to you. My goodness, what a good friend.